porn is not the real issue. Porn is what you run to when life gets heavy.
Welcome to another episode of the Porn to Purpose podcast. Welcome, Yeadon. Good to have you here today, brother.
Talking about everyone's favorite topic, the
Oh my God.
porno.
Oh my gosh. And today we're going to get into like maybe one of the most common questions as it relates to this topic, as it relates to this conversation, right?
Yep.
And that is how to actually break a porn addiction. It's very simple.
This is going to be a 90-second podcast, bro. Lay it on us.
Well, basically, just download the accountability app on your phone and just quit.
Yeah, just stop. Just don't type in the website. That's all you got to do. You don't have to actually do anything. It's just I'm not doing something. Like when I'm lying in bed in the morning, I can just not get up.
Yep.
Okay, all joking aside, we know that's a load of crap.
If only it were so easy.
If it was that easy, we wouldn't be doing a podcast about this.
We wouldn't be here.
Right? We wouldn't know each other.
That's right.
So let's getting real. How do we actually start the journey to break the chains of the porn addiction?
That's it. We want to give you 3 key ideas to take away with here today, brothers. 3. All right. We're going to give you the 3 C's. The 3 C's. If you're taking notes, I'm going to give you a little sneak peek right now. It's connection, clarity, commitment. Connection, clarity, commitment. And I'm going to kick it off right here today with number 1, with connection. We've got a beautiful idea that we work with here inside the community. We've shared it a lot. We probably shared it on our last episode. It's this idea that shame dies when stories are told in safe places. The opposite of addiction is not sobriety, but it's actually connection.
Yes.
And it's that addiction actually grows in shame and secrecy. And the truth of the matter is, brothers, is that you can't do this alone. You've probably tried. I've tried. Yeadon's tried. We've all tried. That's how we got here.
Quit 100 times. Quit 1,000 times.
Quit 100 times, 1,000 times, right? Most men, if you're anything like myself, if you're anything like Yeadon, we try on our own those hundreds, thousands of times to white knuckle it, to figure it out on our own. A lot of it because it does thrive in isolation, right? There is so much shame around it. And that's why we fail. And that is why the first C of connection, community, is such a critical and essential role in this journey. Right?
What do you have when you're in a community, Matt? What is that like? How does that help?
Yep. For me, it began to help me, 1, shift the story around my relationship with porn. It helped me see that there were others on the path, that I wasn't the only weirdo out there, right? That the shame that I carried and the stories that I carried, right, about who I was and what a pervert I was and how disgusting I was and all the stories, right, that didn't serve me weren't actually true. What I actually began to find in community was that there's a lot of other men out here struggling with the same thing, right? So I began to see that I wasn't the only one. I began to share my stories, right, in safe places. And I began to normalize the conversation of pornography in my life, right? It's such a charged, taboo word.
Right
idea,
there, normalizing
right?
the conversation.
Exactly. So, like, I notice when guys first come to the boot camp, a lot of times they're like, "Yeah, I've been dealing with this problem for a long time, and sometimes I deal with this, and sometimes this creeps in." And I notice that it's like hard for even guys to show up and be visible and say the word porn. And I love to just encourage, like,
Guilty
just
as
say it.
charged.
Exactly. Even just saying the word, or masturbation, right, can be such a taboo topic or conversation. So we begin to normalize the conversation, and we begin to diminish the charge around it, right? And of course, we get around other men. We're going to touch on this a little bit later that are also on the same path, and we can learn from others, right?
It's
so
like
we don't have to
away the power. We take away that negative power of the word.
Exactly.
When you're in a space where it's like, oh, these guys are using these words on the regular.
Exactly. So this community getting in true brotherhood provides safety, visibility, accountability, connection, right? And wisdom, frankly. Critical piece of the puzzle. And I can tell you this, I struggled alone for a lot of years. I didn't begin to really make traction in my journey, in my relationship with porn, until I got into community and began connecting with others on the path. Critical.
Same here. 30 years plus stuck in the grip. And it wasn't until in the Liberation Boot Camp where the conversation was normalized. Just being able to say pornography, addiction out loud, porn, just being able to use this in a sentence without guilt, fear, or shame is such a huge step. Huge step.
Yeah. So what do we got number 2, Yeadon? I think we said
number 2, right?
Connection, clarity.
Yes. The first C, we got connection.
Right.
Join a community. You can't do this alone.
Right.
Second C is you need clarity.
Mm-hmm.
And you need clarity around what is actually going on. This is what the inner work is. It's see the underlying need. Because what's the phrase? Unpopular opinion, right?
Yeah.
Porn is not the real issue.
Right.
Porn is what you run to when life gets heavy.
Mm-hmm.
When life is heavy, you've been going through your day, at the job, at your business, hustling sales, whatever your day is, whatever the day-to-day is like, you get home, your clients were upset, you lost a client, you didn't get a project, whatever's going on, you get home, if you have kids, there's emotionally charged energy right there. If you're married, right, in conflict with your wife, all sorts of stuff. Kids yelling at you, not getting their rooms picked up, all this heaviness of life, and just it pushes us down and down and down. And porn is our go-to. Porn is our go-to to lift the heaviness, even for just a moment.
Yep.
It pushes all the negative emotions. It pushes all the chaotic thoughts away. And we have, I'm not going to call it inner peace. We have a glimpse of what it's like without those emotions bouncing around like crazy. Yep. The problem is it almost works. It does shove all that aside.
It's a good drug, man.
Dude, the dopamine hits, the super sensory of perfect people, perfect lighting, perfect camera angles.
Yeah.
We get the dopamine hit, and then what happens? Boom. As soon as the dopamine hit is there, bam, everything rushes back in.
Yeah.
And it's amplified because now we also have the guilt, the shame, the fear, the isolation. The abyss explodes back with a vengeance. So with clarity, it's really about, we use the 4-rack formula in the that's one of the things we teach in the boot camp to identify what's actually going on. The acronym HALT: hungry, angry, lonely, tired. What's going on? Am I upset with my boss? Am I in conflict with my wife? Am I lonely? Do I feel disconnected? Am I tired? Maybe I didn't get a good night's sleep last night. Maybe haven't eaten anything all day. What is actually going on? And this really is the crux of the work. Being able to navigate that, to identify, what do I really need? You know what? I just need a Snickers bar. And then I'm good. We're using the porn to regulate our nervous system. That's really what's going on. Life gets heavy. The emotions come in. The thoughts go crazy. We use porn to regulate our nervous system. It almost works, and we get stuck in this vicious cycle, and we never really figure out how to regulate our nervous system without it. So, bottom line is, really, you don't have a porn problem. You have a comfort problem.
That's it.
When we get so uncomfortable in our own skin, and our
Right.
skin is just buzzing, it's like, I can't even. I think the phrase these days my kids use is crash out. Like, bro, I'm gonna crash out. I'm gonna crash out. I'm done with this day. I can't even. I'm gonna crash out. When you're feeling like that, your body is telling you, hey, I need regulation. I need this to get regulated. And that's where we have things like the core four, the 4 habits that we do on a daily basis as part of the boot camp.
Yeah.
The inner work of digging deep to figure out, okay, how can I regulate my nervous system without porn?
Yep.
That's the work, man. That's the work.
That's it. So first step, like connection. First step, brothers, find a community, right? Ideally us, but if not us, someone else, right?
Something somewhere. And we're not talking to Thursday morning Bible study.
That's right.
We've all been in those. I'm telling you, maybe you're the exception.
Right.
I'm telling you, they were not safe spaces for me.
Yep. So number 1, join a community. Number 2, to Yeadon's point, like the action step that you might take from this is, okay, and if you want to test this, brothers, like begin to notice, begin to journal, begin to take note. When you do feel that urge or that impulse, right, to use porn, like note it down, like what else is present. Notice that HALT that Yeadon mentioned: hungry, angry, lonely, tired. Notice what else is present. And I think, and what I suggest is you'll begin to see that there's other underlying needs that you're attempting to meet by going to porn. Yes. That's been the medicine. Yep. Beautiful.
And what's number 3, bro?
Number 3. So we had connection, we had clarity. Number 3 is commitment, or we could even say course, right? Number 3 is to follow a proven path, right? Yes. We've said it before here on the podcast. Like, if you were going to climb Everest, right, you could try to do it on your own, but it's wrought with peril, you might say. Yeah. Right? I know personally, if I was going to do it, I'm going to hire a guide. If I go to a new city, I'm likely going to hire a tour guide, right? So critical, brothers, that you begin following a proven path and taking the direction, the leader, the lead, the guidance of others who have been up the path, up the mountain ahead of you.
Yes.
Right? Who's already familiar with the pathway there. You need strategy, structure, support, right? You need to listen to guys like Yeadon, who's got over 800 days porn free, right? That says, here's what you do, right? When you're navigating a trigger, right? Here's how you actually work the 4-rack formula. Here's how you process urges and impulses, right? Here's how you build a powerful accountability framework or a tech framework in your life, right? You need a method that's worked for others ahead of you. Yep.
Let me jump in for just because when you were talking about, like, you said you need to listen to Yeadon. So don't listen to me too hard. Don't put me up on that pedestal. It goes back to joining a brotherhood where you can hear these stories. I know on the regular, I'm checking in on our chat. We're like, hey guys, I'm feeling the pull right now. It's like my emotions have exploded. Something happened. I had a trigger event happened. Totally innocuous thing. But it triggered me, and now I've exploded on the inside. I have the safe space where I can just like, hey guys, I'm feeling it. I know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I know that porn is not going to solve my emotional problem. I'm going to go sit, meditate for 10 minutes, figure out what is actually, I get to do these steps and be visible in the brotherhood, in the community while I'm doing them. One, for my own growth, because being visible, sharing my story in the safe space adds to my framework of protection, and it inspires everyone who is on the chat. Like, okay, you know what? Yeadon is not perfect. Yeadon feels the pull just like I do. We're all on this journey together. Just because I have 800 days sober, that doesn't mean I'm good. I'm still actively working my recovery.
That's it. So, like we give you the Mount Everest Sherpa analogy. Mm-hmm. Same thing. Like, right? If you're sick, you go to a doctor. You're going to follow a process. You're going to follow a path that they're going to lay out for you. He's going to say, take this medicine, do these exercises, come in for regular visits, call me if you have a problem. It's the same thing, guys, right?
Following the proven path.
Following a proven path. Yes. Speaking of which,
where can somebody find a proven path, brother?
That's a good question, Yeadon. That's a good question.
If only. Porn2purpose.com. Y'all, we have a 6-month boot camp called the Liberation Boot Camp. It's 6 months doing the work, being in the brotherhood, working to figure out what is the underlying need that is pushing you to porn, following the proven path, having the safe space to be visible and own it. It's like, yeah, this is me. The good, the bad, the ugly. To talk through resets along the journey, to talk through those trigger moments where something happens like, oh, this is not good. I'm feeling it. Having a place to plug in. Check us out, man. Porn2purpose.com. Book a call with me, book a call with Matt. Let's have a conversation, see where you are, where you want to be, and how the Liberation Bootcamp can support you on the journey from, wait for it, porn to purpose.
There it is.
Right?
There it is. Beautiful. Thank
you.
You're
not broken, right? Yep. It's like we're not broken.
Yep.
We just have been fighting the wrong battle.
Yeah.
I know I joked when I joined the boot camp. I'm like, wait a second. I just thought I was getting rid of porn in my life. I did not know I was signing up to become a better person.
That's it.
But lo and behold, as I have grown into a better and better version of myself, porn, it just becomes an afterthought. Mm-hmm. It just fades away in the distance.
Yep.
Every now and then, Inner Addict tries to bring it back. And I'm like, whoa, hold up.
Yep.
I got this. I know how to handle these emotions. We're not going in that direction. Yep. Am I hungry, angry, lonely? Okay, you know what? I got up at 4 a.m. and it's 10 p.m. I'm going to go to bed. Get a good night's sleep. I'm hungry, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. If you're waiting for a wake-up call, the alarm clock just went off.
This is it.
It's time to wake up, bro. Life is too short to live in the pain of addiction. Yep. I had 32 years of addiction. And God, I wish I had found this path 20 years ago when I was 24.
Yep. Beautiful.
So, check us out, brother. Porn2purpose.com. Also, if you like the podcast, go on Apple Podcasts, give us a review. If it's serving, if it's helping, give us a review. It really does help other men find the podcast so they can kick this to the curb and get freedom in their life.
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thanks so much, Yeadon, for those wise contributions, brother. For bringing your wisdom, for bringing your skills, for bringing your experience here with us today. Brothers, thanks for tuning in to the Porn to Purpose podcast today. We appreciate you. Follow these steps and subscribe to the podcast. We'd love to stay connected with you. Thanks for joining here today. We look forward to connecting with you soon. Peace and power, my brothers.
Noble men.
Bye-bye.